Let me guess, you clicked on this video because you just started SMA and you're looking for the fastest way to get to 10K a month, right? So in this video, I'm giving you guys the complete breakdown behind how to actually get there, right? So if you need help scaling your agency, just drop me a DM on Instagram. I'm more than happy to help out. Anyways, guys, enjoy the video. Let's get straight into it, ladies and gentlemen. As I said earlier, in this video, I'll be giving you guys a complete bulletproof guide behind how you can get to 10K a month as a complete beginner. So the first things first, what you want to focus on, let's not waste any time here, is setting appointments and closing them. You want to focus on Saka because everything else is not moving the needle forward with your business, right? Because everything else is just irrelevant. Watching YouTube videos, gurus, making your website, that's not what's going to get you your first client. And the key thing about business, right, you don't have a business unless you have clients. So you need to focus on actually signing your first client in order to actually move the needle forward and actually start running a business, right? And how you're going to do that is first, you want to craft a compelling offer because people will not give you their time unless you can potentially provide them value. And how you're going to do that is by having an offer which is irresistible for them not to say no, so that they can actually hop on the call with you so that you can close them. And when it comes to creating that, what you want to do is actually guarantee them a certain outcome in a certain time delay with minimum risk, right? Therefore, they'll be more likely to talk to you. All right, what I mean by that, for example, right, say you guarantee someone 30 leads in 30 days is better than guaranteeing someone 30 leads in 100 days. Not only that, it's better than saying 30 leads in 30 days and if we not get you the work done, we'll work for free, or 30 leads in 30 days and you only pay us after the job is complete. Like, see how framing these stuff different creates different value. And the more value you can create, the more likely you can hop on more calls and the more you're going to close these leads, right? So what's next? You want to hyper focus on what acquisition model, especially at the start. If you do not have money to invest in your business, you want to start focusing on cold outreaches. You want to do cold calling, cold email, cold DMs, whatever it is. You pick one channel and you start scaling it from there, right? So you do a lot of volume. So with cold calling, essentially, say you start picking the phone, start dialing. What you essentially want to do in order to start scaling, you want to track the metrics behind it. So you want to know how many calls it takes to get one show, right? If you can get one show, how many shows do you need to get one close? And basically then you know what's the required inputs that's required from you to get to 10K a month just through cold calling, right? Similar to cold email. How many emails do I need to send to get one show? How many emails do I need to send to get one close, right? If you know all these numbers, right, you're just going to get better at what you do, right? As well as that, there's a lot more numbers that you can track, but that's just some basic guidelines behind it. What I prefer you guys do, if you do have some type of money, if you have $30 a day, at least like 1,000 bucks, just start investing into paid ads. That's the fastest way to actually scale your business because it's super predictable and efficient. You don't need to waste your time, right? Just hopping, dialing, manually doing outreach. In this system with paid ads, people come directly to you and they're more warm and more ready to close, right? So you pick an acquisition model, right? And you stick to it and start scaling it, right? Next thing is obviously you need to start closing deals, right? And how you're gonna do that is by picking a service to actually deliver on your offer, right? Because obviously, if you have an offer and you don't have a method and a way to get them to where they want to be, right? Obviously, they're never gonna close. So whether it's SEO, whether it's meta, whether it's content, whatever channel you pick, the method and the service that you use to get them to their desired state has to be completely superior to everything else they tried in the past, right? Because if they view you as everyone else, you're obviously going to get that sales resistance and you're never going to close them, right? So you got to make sure that you can get them results with the certain service that you're going to provide them in the certain niche, right? And then obviously you need to pitch this service to a certain niche, right? Because at the end of the day, right, you cannot pitch the same thing to everyone because each person is different, right? You need to make sure that you're providing value to a certain avatar group. And I do not advise you guys niche shop. Yes, you can at the start or even at any time, right? Because at the end of the day, at the start, you're focusing on building these skills. Because once you have these skills, trust me, you can duplicate it in multiple niches. It will never be a problem, right? But in order to build that consistency and conviction that you actually want to grow your business, I suggest you stick to that one niche and face all those problems because you realize even if you niche hop, you're going to run into the same problems, right? So stick to one niche, find out what they actually want, how can you deliver and how can you help them? And then based on that, you just reverse engineer your offer, right? Pick an acquisition model, pick a service, and start getting appointments and start closing them. So that's pretty much the framework behind it, right? So if you need help learning how to implement these systems, if you need help actually growing your agency, just drop me a DM, guys, on Instagram. I'm more than happy to help you guys out. All right. Have a great day.